David, it's just a quick hit on a Sunday. Everyone having a good weekend in the dead heart of the summer. I need to really learn to sit up straight. Oh my gosh, I have the worst posture. But at least I know that, right? How is everyone's weekend? Let's just do a few quick things. Nothing major. Although it's behind the velvet rope, isn't it always major? Listen, a couple of quick things though. Miss Josephs, my good friend Marge the Sarge, my friend Marge the Sarge, very lovely woman, very lovely, but it's her way or the highway, so that's how she got her name, Marge the Sarge. Everyone asks, well, when you're a Sarge, you got to do it their way, you know what I mean? But nothing, no offense to the woman, no offense to any of these people. We're just talking about what's going on. Don't go on and be a public person if you don't want to be talked about. Okay? Um, Miss Sarge has been, she's bopped around she takes the train out here, for the day. She visits the Hamptons sometimes. Thank God I haven't run into her. But she's got pity for Teresa. See, this is the problem with Marge, and let's not, I mean, I sit here and I go off on Teresa all the time. The Marge did an interview recently. The Marge, we haven't heard from her in a while. So she did an interview, and of course, Teresa came up. And she said, I think everybody's used to unfortunate things, and no one wants anything bad. You see, this is the problem I have with the Sarge. It's like, I like just being stabbed right in the heart. Like, just look at me, take out a fucking knife, and just stab me in the heart, right? I hate this, like, behind the back. I hate passive aggressiveness, right? Like, so just say Teresa's an asshole. I fucking hate her. And I actually hate her. Marge, you hate Teresa. You hate Louis. You do. So I hate when these people pretend that, like, oh, I just want what's best for them. And Marge is good like this. Now, there are other housewives that are good like this where they really do want the best for you. You don't want the best for her. You're pitying her. She says, regardless, and no one wants anything bad. That's a lie. You do want something bad for Teresa. Regardless of how anybody feels about her, no one wants to see a sinking ship. Oh, Marge, you're so kind. I feel sorry for her. Truthfully, no one wants that. And I hope she gets out of it. Do you? Do you really, Marge? Truthfully, it's an unfortunate circumstance for that to happen to her again. Yeah, it is. See, just come on here and say Teresa's a fucking moron. She's a pea brain, and she fell for this scam artist that stayed in the damn bushes and jumped out and researched her for 2 years and knew all about her. And Alexia didn't want him, and he was thinking of going after Dolo. But I mean, Dolo actually ain't dumb. Dolo's been playing this game really well since day one. Like, she got to the end of the traders on Survivor, Dolo would go far. Teresa, P-Brain, not so much. But just call it what it is, like we do here behind the velvet rope. I mean, it's just so unfortunate that this would happen to her again. Girl, you don't give a shit. I don't really want to focus on this for a long. I just think the hypocrisy of these people acting like they care. I mean, what am I gonna say? I wish she would have had made better choices in her life partner. Okay, at least you're kind of saying something truthful here. But I feel bad. You don't. I don't want anything bad for her. You do. I never did. You probably didn't when that opening scene when you were doing the reef shit on the beach and sending the reef out for her mother and Siggy got jealous, but you do want something bad for her now, Marge. Just be honest, girl. You got like a dark side to you just like the rest of us. Be honest. Be honest, man. Um and then she says, to be honest, I never think about Teresa. I never think about Louis. I never think about them until someone like you, the reporter, asks me, girl, they live rent free in your fucking head. You think about them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days. Just be honest. And before we move on, here's the fun clinker of it all. Margaret says, I'm great at crisis PR. Do you know that? I'm actually great at crisis PR. And you remember that interview where she walked out of and walked out of the person, and now apparently that set the tone, and everyone's walking out of interviews. She's saying, I really would have taught her differently. I really would have answered the question. I'm so great at crisis PR. I really need to get a hold of Teresa and teach her crisis PR. Well, girl, just be honest. You're full of shit. I couldn't help but resist that. Moving on, Miss Shay, Sheena Shay. Girl is trying hard this week to sell some books. Hey, in her words, why should Stassi be the only one with a bestseller? Let's see how the book does. Honestly, let's see how the book does. She's doing a lot of promotion. You can't fault her for that. Such a double standard in the world. I mean, it's the same thing I said about like if Denise makes the money and I were Aaron, I'd go after every fucking penny she had. Um, if this were a man, can you imagine if a man, if a straight man sat there and said, "Here are all the women I fucked," I'm like a reality star, but I fucked Pam Anderson and I fucked Sydney Sweeney and I got this one in bed. And can you imagine if a man went down the list and listed all the girls that he fucked over the past year or two or 10, whatever the fuck it was? Well, it's a little bit of a double standard, right? Because we're applauding Sheena Shay, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm right there applauding her. Jesse Metcalf, Eddie Cibrian, John Mayer, Shamar Moore, Josh Hopkins. You know Josh Hopkins from Cougar Town? He was also on Swingtown. He's really cute, actually. Shane West, Jesse McCarthy, JC Chavez, Adrian Grenier, and Ricardo Chavera, and William Tell. Ricardo Chavera is Mr. Solis on Desperate Housewives. So she fucked the gardener and Mr. Solis, girl. But she says, at the end of the day, she just wanted someone who was like out of the limelight and, just someone understated. She didn't really want to end up with a celebrity. Girl, none of them wanted you long term, or you would be with them. And wanting someone under the radar, you got what you wanted. You should be really happy. Good, impressive roster, Sheena, though. I'm seeing Jesse Metcalf next month or something. Actually, Josh Hopkins is probably the one I would take out of all of those people. Jesse maybe back in the day, but now she said he was great. He took her to Nordstrom and said, buy whatever you want. Well, now that's my idea of a first date. You know what I'm saying, people? So she said that. She said, I can never get these guys now, like I did back in my 20s. No shit, girl. That's what happens. The older we get, the harder it is to get a guy. I mean, there ain't no line out my door, babe. It's probably because of my wonderful, stellar, winning personality. But and I'm so easy to get along with. But she wasn't really saying because she's older. She was saying that social media has ruined things for the dating scene. And like back in the day, she would be sitting at a club, and there would be Justin Timberlake at her table. Leo DiCaprio would be at her table, and she would just be that girl sitting at the table. Well, honey.